Hi Libra, this is Healing in Reach Tarot. This channel brings you messages from your soul to realign you into balance, peace, love, and best case scenarios for decisions in your life. So welcome. If you are coming back, welcome. And if you're new here, you're also welcome to join us today. This is a July general monthly reading for the sign of Libra, whether it's your sun, moon, and rising sign. It's a general reading, so not all of it may resonate with you. And if it does not, I am available for personal tarot readings. In the description box below, there's a link for that. I'm also a body worker and energy healer of 20 years, and I am offering distance energy healings. These sessions help realign you to your soul and clear away blockages and negative energies so that you can really feel peace and feel uplifted and supported in an energetic way to do major shifts in your life. So there's a description in the description box below. There's a link for that too. Also, last but not least, I am selling body butters. These are whipped mango butter, and they come in 3 scents: lavender mint, rosemary lemon, and geranium rose. Mango butter is very light. It's antioxidant. It's also has an SPF. It's sun protection, a tiny bit, from 6 to 15 SPF, 6 to 15, depending on the mango butter and where it's produced. What else about it? It's very soothing and healing. So for skin conditions like rashes, eczema, psoriasis, even sunburn, insect bites, it's a very soothing butter, and it's also very anti-aging. So check it out in the description box below. All right, without further ado, let's get into your reading, Libra, for the month of July. So I'm gonna first start off asking, what soul messages do we have coming in for Libra from my watercolor kitty cat deck? What soul messages for July, sun, moon, rising, for Libra for the month of July? What messages do we have coming in for Libra for the month of July? What soul messages? That's so weird. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. Okay, so as I was shuffling, I saw this card and I thought, that's Libra's card. I very distinctly felt that. And then as I shuffled, it popped out. That's never, I don't know if that's never happened, but that was really clear. Okay. You got play. Leo got this as well. Meet Pippa of the Dream Circus. Some kitties come straight out of the imagination to remind us to play. Here is to a moment of dancing, twinkling toes, and laughter. Where most only see empty air, Pippa sees colorful tweeting birds doing a tantalizing minuet and errant butterflies playing peekaboo, urging her to the chase. To play is to do something for the pure joy of the doing. It is a frolicking mix of experimentation, curiosity, and absurdity. Where can you let more of Pippa's playful spirit and lighthearted air into your work and your life? So we're definitely coming into the season of Leo after we're in Cancer right now, and Leo is such a playful sign, and there's so much life happening out there right now. So the outer world is definitely in support of playfulness, lightheartedness, enjoyment. So let's see how this translates into some tarot. So your overall soul message is playfulness. So what do we have coming in from tarot for the sign of Libra for July? Sun, moon, rising, Libra for the for the month of July. I woke up with water in my ears, so I can't hear myself. I have no idea if I'm talking loud or low. All right, Libra. Okay, Libra, you got lots of things going on here. There's a call to spirituality here. There's a call to deep dive into your spirituality, your soul. Like that is just jumping out at me. You're coming in as the Tower, as the Seeker, and the Knight of Swords crossing you. So I feel like there has been something in your personal life that has felt like a tarot moment, like an upheaval. So you're coming in with this energy. However, I don't feel like it's negative at all. I feel like it's a lot of energy though. And you're definitely harnessing it in a spiritual way. So and if you aren't fully harnessing it in a spiritual way, that if you could shift your perspective into a more spiritual perspective of where you've been and where you're going, that would be very helpful for you at this time. And the reason I say so much about spirituality right off the bat is because we have the High Priestess in the recent past and the Hangman in the near future. And these are both very spiritual cards to me. The High Priestess is deep listening and trusting your intuition. So something happened in the past where you had to listen to your intuition and trust yourself. Trusting your intuition and allowing it to lead you back to yourself, back to your soul. So I feel like that's already happened to some degree for you. You're already in a process of that. And then to take it a step further, in the near future, you have this Hanged Man. And this is the card of turning your perspective upside down, like really shifting your perspective by taking a moment to pause and see things from a different perspective. So you're coming in as the Tower, and then also the High Priestess, and also the Hangman. It's a lot of spiritual energy. And this card is also, I just heard the word trust. So in the near future, you're being asked to trust, Libra. Across the board. You're being asked to trust in love. You're being asked to trust in work. In life in general, in your spiritual soul, everything, trust is what I'm getting. And the thing about trust is we don't know, there's an element of not knowing the outcome, and that's why we trust, and we put our faith in a higher, something bigger than us, right? Something bigger than us, something bigger than our own mind. And that is a relief that we could offer up, that we do know the way through, and a lot of the time we don't. So this card is like deep surrender to trusting your soul. So that's a big movement in the near future. I think it's a beautiful movement in the near future. You have a lot of beauty going on in this reading. So, okay, so what's beneath you is the Seven of Cups. I feel like you've had a lot of choices in love and also in your life to make. So there's been a little bit of an ungrounded quality to whatever the upheaval was. You're coming in from that energy, which is positive because it's putting you in that spiritual place. However, you also had a lot going on in terms of making a lot of options, which I feel like has it sort of created an ungrounded feeling for you, perhaps. That's what I'm getting with this Seven of Cups. So just to be aware of that. So taking steps to ground yourself may be very good to do right now. Things that help you feel like to get out of your head, especially being an air sign, such a smart air sign Libra is, and to rebalance yourself through grounding. So you also get the Sun card as your crowning card. So this is telling me you're definitely you're realizing that optimism and positive emotional states are of significant value. So not just coming into spirituality, but spirituality is not just being positive, right? It's spirituality is deeper than that. But this card is saying something about there is a place for positive thinking or positive practices that can support our redirection into more spiritual places. So this card is also bringing me back to Pippa here and playfulness. So there's something about being playful and positive that is grounding for you, Libra, and brings you back to spirituality. So you're recognizing this, you're putting this in high regard. I think that's a good thing to do. Even if there's somebody in your life that is causing you not to feel playful or positive, that you would recognize that it's kind of like a dead end. You know, if even if the person is not necessarily treating you bad, but just the situation itself could be disruptive, then revaluing that positivity in yourself and revaluing playfulness as a way to come back to your spiritual connection, you know. So this is then again echoing this message of positivity and playfulness to some degree. The Wheel of Fortune is what you get in your placement of yourself. This is great because it's like you definitely are coming into July with optimism and positivity, and that's beautiful. I also feel like you have a growing awareness of higher energies around you. So angels, archangels, teachers, spiritual teachers, whether they're in the flesh or in energies, I feel like they're around you, and you're growing your awareness of, like, it's not just you in the universe, you know, there's a way that we're all coming from the same source, but there's distinct energies that are helpful and enlightened, and you're becoming more aware of them as helpers, kind of like an inner team, an inner enlightened energetic team that's there to help you. So your own sense of self is growing in this way. And your sense of trust in the universe is growing. Spiritual trust is growing, and your optimism is growing because of this spiritual trust. So these two are working together. It's really great. I love it. So then, this is your outer environment. You get the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is a very spiritual card, but it's a traditionally spiritual, like it's tradition. So any tradition that has been helpful to you, like a yoga class or yoga teachings or, Buddhist teachings or other kinds of spiritualities that have, or even Christianity if you're Christian and you follow Jesus Christ, and whatever tradition speaks to your heart and your soul, go back to that and allow it to be part of your grounding and this spiritual surrender that you're coming into, this spiritual trust. Things in your outer environment that are from traditions could be very helpful. So I feel like that's coming in for that reason, that very reason. Oh, okay. I'm also hearing that for some of you, this is speaking to a partner, like you're in relationship with somebody who is traditionally spiritual, and that may be challenging for you, or vice versa. So some of you are going through something about traditional spirituality and in a conversation about what spirituality even is and tradition. So I'm also hearing that this is showing up for that reason as well. And then you have the Two of Pentacles and your hopes, your fears, and your dreams. As a Libra, I feel like you're very aware of both sides of a situation. This sort of feels like that's a good thing usually, that you could see all sides of a situation. However, I feel like if you think about it too much, then you can kind of teeter-totter in the wrong direction. Or if you look too much at the situation, you can talk yourself out of a positive momentum. So be careful of your mind. Like, notice and recognize when it's mental energy operating in you and how that starts to shift you into a non-trusting state. So I feel like this card is giving information around how fears can operate kind of sneakily in the mental realm. We think it's okay to just think, but sometimes thinking can really create problems. So recognize your thinking and thoughts and recognize when they've kind of gone overboard and it's taken you out of that spiritual trusting state. So as your final outcome, Libra, you get the King of Cups, which I see this feels so beautiful and full. This is Scorpio. I don't know if some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. There's some of the signs I'm getting if you're dealing with someone in your life. But anyway, this King of Cups, I feel like, is your energy, and you know what? Whether you're dealing with another person or not, that I feel like there's a good outcome here in love, and also a return to love if you've been estranged from someone. For some of you singles out there, maybe that's the case. But I feel like also this is a return to your own spirituality again, and your own self-love again. And this is what brings back the right love to you, is your own connection to your own self-love, your own spiritual love. So not just romantic love, but spiritual love, higher love that is like this tuning fork and harmonizer for everything that you want to create across the board in your life, Libra. So this is a great outcome card for July. I feel like, again, I got this for another sign, but water being very regenerative and healing for you. So if you get a chance to go swimming in the ocean or go swimming somewhere, definitely tune into water element being healing for you. And that flow of water being healing for your mind, to let go and to trust to keep doing this deep dive, this deep listening, and trusting your intuition is what Spirit is saying to you, Libra, to keep trusting your intuition more than the mental gymnastics that might rule you more than usual, or more often than not with being an air sign. So trusting your deeper emotional instincts and your deeper spiritual instincts. As your advice cards, I got the Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords. So it's like taking time to rest and come back into your heart. New beginnings in love with yourself and others, and resting. So resting the mental gymnastics. And there's a fish and water underneath. This is an air sign card with it being swords, but it's interesting in this deck there's a fish underneath this figure resting. And it's like, again, water is regenerative, emotions are regenerative, spiritual emotionality, like trust is a spiritual emotion, you might say. Deep listening is a deep spiritual activity. That peace is a deep spiritual emotion. So there are higher emotions that I think you're beginning to really tune into and trust. And it's creating new beginnings with yourself and in love as well. Across the board I see for you. This is, I feel like you're going through beautiful spiritual movements this month of July, Libra, and there's a lot of spiritual energy in this whole reading. And Pippa also is reminding you that spirituality can be, it's meant to be, there's a playful element to life and to connecting to life in a spiritual way. So remember to be playful with all of this. Remember to be playful and light with yourself. So I hope this was helpful, Libra. I would love to hear in the comments below how this might have resonated with you. If it did, please hit the like button so we could share this with more Libras out there, and also the subscribe button to receive more videos from this channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, I hope to be back mid-month with another general reading for you. Thank you. Blessings and love and light.